yesterday. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. So tell me what you want, tell me how you want it. Tell me all the reasons that you're running away. I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, no, no. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you.
Hey guys, welcome to the video. It's the Oztech Warrior. Melbourne is now out of lockdown, so we're gonna hit up somewhere to eat, and I've got a good video for you today, a lot of tips, so I'll see you shortly.
Yeah, I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you.
Okay guys, we're at this place called Fishbowl in Richmond, Melbourne, so about to dig into some poke. But first, tip number one for productivity and how to just keep yourself on task to doing what you need to do when you need to do it is going to be think of your actions. So think of your actions simply means think of the next physical thing that you need to do to be able to complete whatever task you've got. So if that task is, say, drink this soup, the next thing I've got to do is actually pick that up. So you've got to think of the next action. So there's no good saying, I want to film a YouTube video and that is about productivity or about mental health or anything like that. You need to think the next step that I need to do is pick up my camera, point it towards me and start filming. That's your next step. And as you start breaking these things into action steps, so things that you're physically going to do for each individual action, you'll find it's a lot easier to understand what you need to do next to complete your goals or projects. So that's my first tip. I'm gonna dig into the food and we'll go over step number two once we've moved the car because I'm in a short parking spot. See you then. Okay guys, back at the car, Fishbowl was awesome and it's starting to get dark, so I'll quickly wrap up tip number two, which is organize by project. So what I mean by that is I actually have 4 lists that I work within. Each one has a different purpose. So I have a pending list, which is things that I need to do, but they're only one step. They're one actionable, physically actionable step, and then they're completed. So they're things that I can bang out in 10 minutes or so. List number 2, however, is my projects list. So this is something that might be a bit bigger. So it might be like working on an app that has multiple different things that need to be done on it. So it's not quite something that I can do so fast. So that goes into my project. So I can list all the actionable steps below it, but it's something that I know I need a little bit more time to work on each step. Number 3 is my someday/maybe list. So these are things, projects or things that I want to do, but they're not quite here yet. So for instance, it might be about an event that's on later in the year and I don't know if I'm going to be free then. So rather than worrying about it now, it goes into that list and I review it every now and then until it comes to that point in time and then I make a decision. Or it might be something that is a project that's too big for the resources that I have now. So I might want to develop a full business with a certain product in mind or something like that. It's not something I can work on now, but it's an idea that I have. So it goes into the list and I'll review it every now and then to decide whether I trash it later or start building action steps for it. And the 4th list and final list is my waiting list. So it's something that I want to do, but I'm waiting on something else to happen. So for instance, if I want to look into getting a newer phone to take better video, I've got to wait for the next phone to be released. So it's not something I need to action right now, but I'll look into it again when that's out. Or it might be I'm waiting to hear back from someone. So I've sent that email to my tax accountant and I'm waiting for him to get back to me with some information so I can take that next step. So those are the 4 lists, and by organizing in those 4 different ways, it's going to take a lot of pressure off of you because you can look through your list quickly, sort out the things that you can sort out, and leave the things that you can't, and therefore you'll be more productive, but also, more importantly, you'll be a lot less stressed knowing that all your open commitments are under control and you know what's happening with every single one. So that's tip number 2. We're going to head off now, and I'll shoot tip number 3 a little bit later, and we'll see you soon. stick.
Abrázame toda la noche, no nos queda mucho tiempo más. No quiero perder lo que queda. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yeah.
Okay guys, back home doing some work, and to finish up with tip number 3, it's the 2-minute rule. So what the 2-minute rule is anything that lands in your inbox, so any task that is going to go into your to-do list or an email that comes in that needs some sort of action on, and this goes for physical mail as rare as it is nowadays, so stuff like invoices or fines, anything that you can do within 2 minutes, you just do straight away, or you leave it in your inbox if you're incredibly busy, like you're in the middle of a meeting or something, sure, but otherwise, if it's going to take less than 2 minutes, clear it straight away, and you'll find that you can actually get through a lot more tasks adhering to that 2-minute time period. Now, it does have to actually be 2 minutes. It can't be some people underestimate the amount of time they have. So it has to be properly 2 minutes. Otherwise, you'll find that you should be putting these into your pending list or your projects list, and spending a bit more time on them. Otherwise, you're just going to get yourself caught up in doing things all the time and missing out on other projects and things. So my recommendation would be read the book Getting Things Done by David Allen, or at least seeing somewhat of a summary of it, because that's where I got a lot of these from. It's a book about productivity, but not productivity for productivity's sake, so that we can get more done and be more successful or anything like that. It's specifically about productivity for the sake of stress. So what can you do to close off those loops in your mind where you're constantly worrying about forgetting something, or constantly worrying about what's the next thing I need to do, and you're focusing more on relaxing and having efficient time, knowing that the things you need to do are already captured. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't think this video is going to be as good a quality as my last two, because I've only had 1 day off this week from work, and I am feeling a bit sick filming it. So yeah, not feeling that great, but we'll see how this one turns out. Again, if you've made it to the end of the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It definitely helps the algorithm into thinking that my content is good content, and I like to think that it is. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.